Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. Today I am building a starter home in the world of Oasis Springs, and this home comes out at 19,982 simoleons. It's a little bit pricey. I'm pretty sure you could place it on a different lot to make it a little bit less expensive, but either way, you're able to move right in when you place down this house. The reason it's more expensive on this lot is this lot alone, I believe, is 3,500 simoleons when it's empty. But I decided to build a mid-century modern inspired home, as that's kind of what this whole area is. And I thought a mid-century starter home sounded really cute, and this is base game only as well. I really wasn't sure what I wanted to build. I was just in the mood to build, and I realized I hadn't done a base game starter home in quite a while, so I thought that would be a fun idea, and I think it's been years since I've done one that was a base game starter mid-century build. Anyway, as I was going, I realized I liked the back of the build a lot better, so I ended up flipping it around, and then I rearranged where the front door is. And I'm so glad I did this because I think this just all of a sudden clicked and came together exactly how I wanted it. I think it is such a cute build. I'm really proud of this one. If you like it and you'd like to download it, it will be available on the Sims 4 gallery. You can find it under my EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi, and that information is also in the description down below. So this is the shape we are going for. I love the orange colors on the door and on the siding over on the right side of the build. And then I'm getting a bunch of debug landscaping so that it doesn't cost any extra money. I typically use debug and show live edit objects landscaping anyway, regardless if I have a budget or not, just because I like the items a little bit better than the regular catalog, especially when it comes to base game. But since we were trying to keep this in a starter home budget of 28,000 simoleons or less, debug comes in such handy for decorating spaces without spending any of those simoleons. So of course, I needed to go ahead and use that in this build, but right now I'm just adding a back door and some windows, and then we should be working on the floor plan in here, which I think I cut out a little bit of, even though this was a really short build. I kept most of the build in because it didn't take too long to put together because of the limited choices I could make with the price as well as just using base game. But also, the floor plan was just kind of difficult for me for some reason. You'll see here, I should be fixing where I have the kitchen for a while. I did cut out a ton of footage of me moving around where a bedroom would be, and it just wasn't making sense because I was trying to have the kitchen wrap around a corner, but I decided to have a U-shaped kitchen over here instead, which I think works better for the style of this home anyway. I wanted it to feel a little bit dated, but at least in the layout, but still feel kind of new, if that makes sense. And of course, only using base game items. So what I ended up doing is having a big bedroom over on the other side. I extended the back just a little bit so we'd have more space for a living room, and then I moved the door to be to the side of the build instead of exiting out of the bedroom. So that's what I ended up going with in the end. I think it works so nicely. I really like the layout of this build and the colors. I feel like this is one you could expand on pretty easily, adding additional bedrooms over on the left of the build if you decided to move this to a different lot. I was just overall very pleased with it. I think this floor plan is kind of fun. I did think about using these tiles in the kitchen and the bathroom, but in the end, I just didn't like them because I changed the color scheme of the items in here. At first, I was going for blue and orange, but it felt really washed out. So I ended up changing the wood tones in this house to be a darker brown, and then I brought in some greens. So that didn't really match with the tiles anymore, so I ended up changing them. But I do like them. I think they are really cute. And I used these countertops, of course, from base game that are a peach and white, which I thought were really pretty. I'm pretty sure I changed those in the end as well, but right now I'm really enjoying them. I just think they're so fun. I feel like I could come up with a build using those if I wasn't just limiting to base game, so that way I could have a little bit more variety in the items I was choosing in the place and spice it up a little bit, but that's okay. We get there in the end, and I really like it. I thought about using these tiles at first because they blended in, but like I said, everything felt a little bit too matchy, and then I decided to use this matching set of a love seat and armchair. And that's when I started changing the swatches of everything to make it just a little bit more warm and cozy in here because it was feeling too cold. So that's when I changed the wallpaper in here to be this green, and then we're playing around with the counters. It looks like I kept the orange. I just got rid of the white in between, and then I added a rug over here, and I ended up changing those blinds to be different ones. I thought that they were covering too much of the windows, but I did add this piece of artwork to bring in some more orange, which I thought looked really nice. And then I just got a plant over in the corner, and I also added this cactus in the kitchen. I do have to go through and end up deleting a couple of items that I placed down as decor as we run out of money. As you can see in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, we're quickly running out of money for this house. But I really wanted it to feel fully decorated, so I was trying my best. But these are the blinds that I ended up using in here. It does cost quite a bit of money to get this many blinds, but I just thought they looked really nice. But that's something you could easily delete if you decided to download this house and you needed a little bit more money for your Sims in a starter house. So I also end up swapping out that TV. At first I was like, oh, we'll use the flat screen TV and I'll scale it up so that it looks bigger and it's not that expensive. Well, it was already too expensive, and we ended up getting a really small box TV instead. In the bedroom, I was really trying to make this bed work and I just didn't like it. So I was trying different ones. We end up going with the one that has like a curvy headboard and base. In the end, it's not one I use very often, but I felt like it worked in this house. So I'll be changing that here in a little bit. But first, we're in the bathroom adding a mirror and toilet paper and towel and all of that. And I do end up getting rid of the shower tub combo because, once again, we couldn't afford it. So I ended up putting a just regular tub in there instead, because that's kind of how the layout of that room worked. Typically, when I only have a tub or a shower, I will pick a shower. But for some reason in this one, I thought a tub was nice. But this is the bed I end up going with in the end. It's kind of cute. I sometimes like this bed and sometimes really don't. But I wanted to figure out how to have a dresser in here as well as a bedside table. We only end up having one because it was too expensive to have more than one, but I was able to include that. I like the wallpaper color I chose, and we end up having a rug in there as well. I'm pretty sure I keep that. I think the thing I don't keep is the lamp on the bedside table because it was like the perfect amount that we were over 20K, so I ended up deleting that. But here is that tub I had mentioned. And I should be adding a towel up above it as well. And I keep adding and deleting this window in the bathroom. I just can't decide if I want it there or not. So I can't remember if it stays or not. But I did get a rug in the bathroom as well as one right in front of the sink in the kitchen space, just painting some more walls. And then I should be getting a bookcase over here to fill in this wall and also give you another skill building item, especially since I didn't include a computer in this house. But I think where that bookcase is would be a great place to put a desk and a computer if you live here. I did get a cork board here though, and then outside we're adding a trash can, and then I already added one inside, but because of the trash can we were over budget, so I got rid of that lamp and I was like, oh, that solves the problem, perfect. And then I just grabbed a mailbox to put out front, and then we should be finishing up the landscaping, some terrain paint, trying to make it look a little bit more finished. I go through debug, grab lots of rocks, and just try and finalize this build. I think it came out really cute. Like I said, it's just shy of 20K, so it was a really tight budget, but I think we made it work okay. Definitely let me know what you think of this build, and if you played it for yourself, I would love to see screenshots, especially if you do any renovations. I love seeing that sort of stuff. I am Gryphi on Twitter, just like I am here. And yeah, if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And if you click that bell, it'll turn on notifications so you'll be notified of when I upload. Thank you so very much for watching. Please enjoy the screenshots, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.